I'm having a really hard time with the words this week, but I'll do my best. The schedule said that I am to do swing tonight, which I am going to do, but our focus was going to be turns and spinning. So I'm going to kind of do half and half. I'm going to do swing for half and then turns for half. I don't know if you guys went to Forrest's seminar on Saturday for Blast, but he did a whole thing on turns, and it was really, really, really good. But he was like, he like took off from the starting line and did not finish, and like just sprinted for the finish. So I'm gonna do like the turtle version of turns, and he did like the rabbit version of turns. So hopefully you'll get something out of this. But first I'm going to start with swing, and I'm going to address thanks, I'm glad the turtle version will be helpful. Like it was, well, whatever, it was great. And I don't know where these seminars are, but like go watch them. Don't especially watch mine. Like if you guys come to this, you've heard all the information before, but like go watch the other people's seminars. So good. Okay, so I'm going to start with swing, and I'm going to start with some of the comments that I had to type many times for Ballroom Blast. So if you participated in Ballroom Blast and you got comments from me on swing, maybe I'll hit one that you would like more information on. If not, who cares? Because it's still going to be great information, I promise. So generally speaking, swing looked like much improved from, I don't know, the last time that I saw everybody dance it, so that was very positive. But the thing that I had to write the most for a lot of the rhythm dances was ITA. Now, ITA is one of my favorite acronyms for dancing because it's for inner thigh awareness, which if I explained it, and I probably typed it out if you got this. Typing was so much better than like writing. I got to type it out. It means that anytime you're doing anything, and this goes for smooth dances too, but it's especially effective in rhythm, and you can see it more clearly in rhythm. When you are standing, anytime, always, you want to think about zipping your legs together from like your heels all the way up to the tops of your legs. It will give you better posture without having to think of better posture, which sometimes is a trick in itself. Because like I have all those tricks for getting into a good posture and forward poise, and that was like my whole rant on Saturday. But for rhythm, especially, if you want to look like you have nice leg action, one of the first things that you need to do is use ITA, or inner thigh awareness. So if I'm just standing here, I hope you guys can see this clearly. Go a little bit closer. There. Okay, so if I'm standing here, you can see the wall behind me between my knees, right? I'm like a little bit bow-legged, but if I zip from my heels, zoop up through my ankles, and then like my calves, kind of put my calves together, and then my knees, and then like all the way up, you know, then you may not see the wall between my knees, which is great. But here's the trick. I have to move because I'm not just gonna stand here like I have little peg legs, right? Like I'm a little clothespin person. Anybody make those when they're little? That could be crafting Saturday afternoon. Anyways, so I'm squeezing from my heels to my knees to the tops of my legs. So even if I go like this, like put my feet wider than hip width apart, I can still squeeze in. I don't know, you guys are probably too young to remember the Thigh Master, but there was this whole thing in like the 80s about Thigh Master, and it was this thing that you like squoze between your knees. Anyways, imagine you have like a basketball or something and you're playing a goofy game and you're trying to like keep the basketball between your knees the whole time. You're always squeezing in. So especially for follows or leads, I don't know, if you're ever wearing a skirt and dancing, it's really obvious if your legs are kind of like going outward instead of squeezing in. So working on squeezing in. What often happens when we do swing, I'm using a lot of arm motions today. What often happens when we learn swing is because we know it's side to other side. We're like, cool, I'm doing side to other side. Yeah, look at me go. And this is not bad. This is not bad. But if I think about squeezing from my heels all the way up to the tops of my legs, first of all, I kind of have to stand taller for whatever reason. There's a whole thing about pelvic floor, but that's too much information right now. If I think about squeezing from my heels to the tops of my legs, first of all, my steps get smaller, which is usually good, because if your steps are smaller, then you're gonna be able to do more body action. If you take really big steps, you can't do a whole lot of body action because all of your movement is taken out laterally. So instead, we're going to take small steps, squeeze our legs together all the time, all the time, all the time, and do our little triple steps. We're still doing side to other side. You can do proper swing motion, but I'm really thinking squeezing in, squeezing in, squeezing in, squeezing in, squeezing in. Yes, it's so good. Then, along with that, when we do turnout in rhythm, our toes are turned out just enough where I can fit my fist in between my toes or the balls of my feet, right? But our knees don't turn out. We don't have turnout from our hip joints. We just have turnout from our ankles. So if I'm standing here like this and I zip my legs together, first of all, when I bend my knees, they should go straight forward. If I'm not using ITA and I'm not thinking about zipping my legs up, when I bend my knees, they will probably go out over my toes, which I hear if you're in ballet, that is proper. But we are not doing pliés, we are doing ballroom. So when we do ballroom, rhythm, Latin, that whole thing, we want our knees going straight forward. So when you do that zip, 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 and you bend your knees any direction, on any step is what I meant to say. Your knees should go straight forward, and they're not like squeezing together, they're just squeezing toward each other. So it's not like I'm trying to hold a penny between my knees, because that would be really hard and ridiculous and take a lot of energy. I'm just squeezing from my knees, from my heels to my knees to the tops of my legs, and then when I bend, they're still going straight forward. So again, if I go from the side, it's going this way. I feel like I'm doing samba now. That's coming up. Yes, and not this. Ooh, 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 which is fun, but not proper. So if we're gonna do the swing basic, which we are going to do, you guys can mirror me, or I'm gonna flip around in a second and put some music on, but I want you to think about your knees working straight forward, not over your balls of your feet or your toes, and we're just going to do a bunch of swing basics, really thinking about that ITA business, inner thigh awareness, so you're squeezing up the whole time. So I'm going to do the first couple this way. I think I'm going to do the follows part. I'm going to my right, so I'm doing the follows part. If you want to mirror me, that's great. If you don't, and you want to come the same way with me, great. But I'm going right foot first, and I'm going 1 and 2, 3 and 4, rock, step, really squeezing, 3 and 4, rock, step, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, rock, step. I'm going to rotate, mostly in case you are going with me. You'll get to match me in a second. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, still squeezing. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, rock, step. 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 So, is that good? Does that work? Anybody? Yes? Okay. So let's do it with music. Ugh. I got locked out. Give me 2 seconds. Boop. Boop. Okay, hold on. Yes. We'll even get a really decent tempo one here. Okay, so basic with me. I'm going to the right first for the follows part, but I'll switch and do the leads part in 2 seconds. So a couple basics with me. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Squeeze your legs. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rock, step. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rock, step. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep those legs working together. Keep those legs squeezing. I see you coming. Okay, I'm gonna switch and do the leads part. Oh, I'll get there. I'll let you know if you're squeezing your legs too much. I'm gonna do the left, going to the left for the leads. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Drop, step. Squeezing in. Yes, little practice to start out with. Hold on. Whew. Okay. So somebody asked, I didn't see who it was, but it doesn't matter. How do you know if you're squeezing your legs too much? Like, the too much question is really hard to answer, which isn't a cop-out, I promise. It's very rare that we're ever doing too much of many things. If your coach at some point says you're doing too much, like, hallelujah, get to that point. Like, just immediately, if you're dancing and you're like, this feels restrictive, it probably should if you have gotten the comment ITA. And so at first it will feel restrictive, but after you've done it for a while, maybe you're like, oh, that kind of like loosens up my rib cage, or like makes it easier to move my hips or something. So if you're squeezing your legs too much together, your steps will be like so small that you're not moving. So you still do want some lateral movement, but not so much that it's like taking away from the ability to move other pieces of your body. Again, not a cop-out answer, but it's a little bit different for everybody. So there, crappy answer, I know, but I am betting you're not doing it too much just yet. Okay, ITA. The other thing about swing, oh shoot, I lost it. It'll come back. It'll come back. Oh, when we're doing turns, segue, right? When we're doing turns, whether it's just like plain old underarm turns, like change of places, or something fancier, you have to make sure that your swing motion is consistent through all of your triples. So we're gonna do a simple underarm turn for the ladies and then make it not so simple. So as we do like the follows underarm turn, I'm gonna do the easy version. Make sure I'm on the screen the whole time. Okay, so super simple version of the underarm turn for a follow goes 1 and 2, and we do about 180-degree turn. 3 and 4, we turn 1 more quarter, 5, 6, and then we repeat 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6. So come with me on a journey. This is like very small amounts of turn that will segue into like our turning section. So for follows, and the leads, your part is basically the same too. So for the follows, I like to do 1 and 2, half turn, 3 and 4, quarter turn to my partner. So we're still perpendicular, but I've turned to face my partner. 5, 6, and then I completely do the same thing, but going back. So I do a quarter of a turn, 1 and 2, 180, 3 and 4, rock, step. Let's do that like 3 more times, and then I'll add some step to it. So we go 1 and 2, half turn, 3 and 4, quarter turn, 5, 6, quarter turn, 1 and 2, half turn, 3 and 4, 5, 6. Yes? Let's do it again. Ready? And 1 and 2, half, 3 and 4, quarter, 5, 6, quarter, 1 and 2, half, 3 and 4, 5, 6. One more time. Here we go. 1 and 2, half, 1, 3 and 4, quarter, 5, 6, quarter, 1 and 2, half, 3 and 4, 5, 6. Yeah? Good? Good? Okay, so some of the principles of turning is you want to make sure you get on your foot, which means with forward poise. Oh yes, with forward poise before you turn. So you're always gonna do step onto a foot, like all the way onto it, and then turn. I'm just gonna do half turns for now. So you're always gonna do step, turn. I'm gonna go out of frame here. Step, turn. So when we're dancing and we're counting our step and our body action, we want to give those different beats. So when I'm dancing my swing, underarm, turn, I'm going to face you guys for a second. Excuse me. I'm going to do 1 and 2 all the way over it. And that wasn't, hello, that wasn't a weight transfer, it was a body action of a turn. And then I'm going to do 3 and 4. I'm over exaggerating, but you get it. And 5, 6. And 1 and 2. And 3 and 4, 5, 6. Yes? It seems really silly at the beginning when you're doing it stupid slow like this, but then when you get up to speed, your amazing muscle memory will remember that you have to get all the way over that foot, and you'll have way more stable turns as you get into fancier stuff, which is always good, right? We want to be stable. So come with me. I'm going to go this way again, and I'm going to do the follows part. I'm going to like go really slow on the first 2, like the turn and the turn back, counting that body action of just the turn. So right foot free, I go 1 and 2, and 3 and 4, and 5, 6, and 1 and 2, and 3 and 4, 5, 6. Yeah, a little bit faster. Ready, go. 1 and 2, and 3 and 4, and 5, 6, and 1 and 2, and 3 and 4, and 5, 6. A little bit faster. Ready, and 1 and 2, and 3 and 4, and 5, 6, and 1 and 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. Questions so far? As I'm getting music? No? Okay, hold on. Oh, it keeps locking me out. It's fine. I'm not mad. Too fast, 1 second. Oh, yes. We need some rock. Okay, this is faster, right? You'll be fine. Here we go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6. Basic step. Basic step again. Ooh. Now do the turn. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 1 and 2 basic, basic again. Now do the turn. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, basic. One more basic. And then turn. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, 6, basic. One more basic. Good. Okay, I'm tired. Oh, I remembered what I was going to say though. That's important. Boop. Yeah, a bunch of you did. If you guys did solo proficiency at Blast, like, rock on, because that is not the easiest thing. I'm going to say especially as a follow, but 2 thumbs up if you did it. But also just 2 thumbs up for like joining in and doing Zoom classes, because it might seem silly or like totally placeholder-y for like real dancing. But as you learn to move your own body, you're less reliant on your partner for making you do things, which is so good. You guys will all be way better dancers in the end for doing all this solo work. And you'll be way more fun to dance with and easier to dance with, which, oh my God, it's like the whole, right? So exciting. Okay, any questions on the turns so far? I knew it. I saw it coming. Go, Ames, go.
All right, so my question is, how do you wind up those turns?
Ooh, it's coming, baby. It's coming. I'm gonna do, I don't know if you were here for like the first 2 minutes, but I was talking about how Forrest on his seminar on Saturday did like the rabbit version of how to do turns. And I'm gonna do like the turtle version of how to do turns. So I have like some silly drills like I usually do on how to like build up to making things fancy and fast, which is like what most of us want our turns to look like. So yeah, it's coming, baby. Before I kind of move on, if you're doing other stuff, like other turning actions, I was gonna try to fit continuous triple step, turn, triple step, turn. There's like that one that travels, and then I was like, wait, we're in dorm rooms, so let's not do that one. But if you're doing any other turning thing that travels or doesn't, you want to make sure that A, you get over whatever that standing foot is, and then turn where you're still over, guess what, your standing foot, so you can continue any action that would be appropriate to the dance. So if I'm doing my swing triple steps, I don't want to like all of a sudden, I don't want to be doing like great swing motion. Oh, look at me, my hips are moving. And then when I start to turn, I'm like, and like kind of everything stops, right? That would be so silly. So that's why I emphasize getting over your standing foot and turning over that standing foot, where you're gonna go 1 and 2, and I swung my hips and everything. And now I can continue and go 3 and 4, 5, 6, and then use this hip, woo, 1 and 2, woo, 3 and 4, 5, 6, and continue using my hips like I usually would if I was in the middle of a basic. Otherwise, as you're turning and as your partner is presumably not turning, you won't like match it all. And a lot of your rhythms will be just a little bit off and it won't feel as good. So over your standing foot, turn and try to get as much motion as you would in your regular basic into your turn, which usually means practicing it stupidly slow, like painfully slow. It was my favorite thing to do when I was an amateur though. I'd be like, how slowly can I do this turn and not fall over? Turns out real slowly. Okay, so I'm kind of moving on into my turning section. God, it's already so late. Okay, let's get to it. So here's my drills for turning. I'm gonna face the wall, so don't ask questions right now. You know, when I'm teaching classes, I often talk about gingerbread turns. Oh, let me demonstrate. It's fine. Where you're like, imagining you're a gingerbread person and you're turning with like all of those pieces intact. Like you don't really have joints that can bend, right? That is the basic action that you need to be able to do most turns, at least in like bronze for sure. So I know it feels silly, but you're all by yourselves mostly. So like stick your arms out and really just like teeter-totter from foot to foot. But just this action is getting you over your standing foot, and hopefully, I want you to feel this as we're turning back and forth. Hopefully you're turning over the balls of your feet. So you feel them turning on the floor. This is important for the future, but just this is a really good warm-up to make sure you're changing weight from foot to foot, and that you're turning over the ball of your foot. If you turn over like your whole foot, which is very difficult, or if you turn over your heel, which is dangerous, you're more likely to fall down. And nobody wants to fall when they're turning, although we all have. So, feeling the ball of your foot swiveling on the floor, importante. Okay, next, we're going to make it a little bit fancier. We're going to do our gingerbread person, except because we're turning to the right, we're actually going to rotate to the left. So this is our wind up. I'm rotated a little bit. Now this is the fun part. Watch first. I'm rotating to the left. I'm going to throw my left hand around and try to clap it to my right hand. So watch, I'm going to go, and then stop with my hand still pointed to the left. And then I'm going to open up my right arm. Oh, let's all do that together. So I'm standing on my left foot. I'm rotated to my left. I'm going to take my left arm and swing it through and clap it to my right hand. Ready? Go. And stop on your right foot with your hand still pointed to the left, and then open your right arm. Yay! Now we're going to do it, guess what, going the other way. So I'm rotated a little bit to the right. I like how I do bird arms as I'm standing here. Now I'm going to take my right hand, clap it to my left, and keep land with my hand still over to my right, and then open my left arm. So we're doing, this is like the clap and turn drill. We're going clapping our left hand, landing, opening our right arm, clapping our right hand, landing, opening our left arm. So this is your wind up. We throw our side around, we unwind. We wind up, we throw our arm around, we unwind. When we end up doing this faster without bird arms, it'll make your turns faster and controlled. Yeah, which is always good. So thanks for karate chopping with me. So this time, we're gonna do it trickier. We're gonna start here, and instead of clapping our hands, we're just gonna bring them in. So we do like, this is bad ballet, people, but if you put your middle fingers together, go like this with your arms with me. Wiggly arms, get them all relaxed. Put your middle fingers together. This is bad ballet first position. Like this, jeez. Bad ballet first position. So if we raise it up, so our thumbs are at about our rib cage level, that's where you're gonna try to close your hands when we do this non-clapping turn version. I know it feels really doofy right now, but I swear it looks good when we turn. So I'm gonna go back to the camera again. I'm gonna start in this wind up position. I'm gonna turn and bring my hands together in that crappy first position. And then I'm still gonna land with my hands over to the left and then open my right arm out. And then of course, reverse the other way. So I'm gonna bring my right hand through, close it in crappy first position, land with my hands over to the right, and unwind. So we're gonna go a little bit faster because this is very slow, but I want you to start slow if you're doing this on your own. So a little bit faster. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and. The and I'm counting is the unwinding of your arms and presumably like your upper body goes with it. Going to the right one more time. We're wound up to the left. I go 1, 2, close my hands, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and. Now, depending on what dance you're doing, this one probably happens most in rumba and cha-cha, where like, let me do a figure for you. If I'm the follow and I do an inside turn before crossover, 1, 2, 3, and then something happens next. That's a pretty common one for follows. Leads, you don't get it as often, but it's still out there. So let's do it a couple more times. The other thing is, I didn't really talk about it, but it seems like you're all doing it. When we do gingerbread turns, like super basic gingerbread turns, like you're kind of keeping your feet out to the side steps all the way through. If you're getting comfortable with your turns and you're like, hey, I'm not falling over, the goal is on the 2 of the 1, 2, 3, is on the 2, get your feet close together. They can touch like they would be a together step in some worlds. So when we start out, we do it like gingerbread style where it's all side steps, but if you're getting better at it, you can go 1, 2, with ITA, 3, and the same thing back, 1, 2, 3. Yes? Yes. Okay, so, ooh. Well, except for that one, it looked really good. Let's go do a couple more together. So, because I love rumba so much, I'm gonna count it quick, slow, and then back into the next one. So come with me. We're gonna do wound up to our left first. We're gonna go quick, slow, and quick, slow, and quick, slow, and quick, slow, and, right? You can do that all day. So when I'm practicing solo, I like to do feet first, like as much as I can. So I'd be like, okay, make sure I'm doing my weight transfer, do my gingerbread turn, make it kind of look stupid. Make sure I'm turning over the balls of my feet. And then I'd be like, okay, well, that part's pretty good. So let's add in arms. So then I would do the clapping drill, which again, it feels silly, but it works because you need to do that wind up and unwind, or else your turns usually get a little bit out of control. Even if you can like squeeze and hold on to it, you gotta stick those landings, right? I don't know, it's just the gymnast in me like coming out. So then do the clapping drill, then do it with like the ballet 5th position, which is just fun for posture anyways. It looks so nice. And then try to get your feet closer and closer together on that 2. And the more you turn, the more your body hates it less. Those are the words I'm continuing to use. Because at first, like your proprioception might be a little bit fuzzy and you might be like, where the heck is 360 degrees? But like the more you do it, the better it'll get. So very good. These are, unless I'm totally bizarre and have forgotten everything, those are called chaîné turns. Like those little sidestepping turns, they're closed chaînés if you get your feet close-ish together. Ballroom doesn't cross over to ballet very much, but we do share some language. So if I murdered it, sorry, ballerinas. Next, we're gonna do underarm turns, which are my favorite thing of all the world. And I'm talking like underarm turns, like you would do crossover break, underarm turn. So I'm kind of like stepping away from swing a little bit, but oh my gosh, please do them like this. So as you do an underarm turn, guess what? You have to get over your right foot. Leads and follows, you do basically the same thing on these. And then there's a couple different versions that you can do. I'm gonna do the easy one right now. You're gonna step like 1/8 of a turn. So if this is your partner, you're going just an eighth, making sure you're doing like a forward walk. So I don't want to go like this, eighth of a turn. That can get really ugly really fast. So I like making sure that I'm swiveling over my right foot, do an eighth of a turn. Now here's the money step, my people. You're going to turn 180 degrees, which guess what? Is not to your partner. It's not even perpendicular to your partner. You're still at an obtuse angle to your partner. So they're like the wall right now, and you are not. You're like, hello, everybody. Now you're gonna step back onto your right foot. Now you're gonna turn 3/8 of a turn to get back to your partner. And guess what? We're gonna do them both ways because it's fun and good for us. And it's a really cool variation on like super simple bronze steps that is legal. So we're going to the right first. I'm gonna swivel over my right foot. So my whole body turns about an eighth, and I step forward. Now I do 180 degrees. Ha-cha! I'm not facing my partner. I'm really facing out. And then I do 3/8 of a turn to get back to my partner. Step to the side. I gotta switch arms just because it feels good. Now I do the same thing. Swivel over my left leg. So I can take it forward, walk, eighth of a turn, and then I do 180 degrees. What is it? Northwest, something. Anyways, and I step onto my left foot, turn 3/8 around. We're gonna do this like many, many times. I'm going to count the ands, and the ands are when we turn. So the quick, slow is weight transfer. Anytime I'm counting an and is when we do the turn. Yes? Emphasis. Okay. So come with me. You don't have to do arms if you don't want to, but I'll explain them in a second. So I'm stepping onto my right foot. That was slow. And quick, and quick, and slow, and quick, and quick, and slow, and quick, and quick, and slow, and quick, and quick, and slow. So, yes, questions? We good? We're totally good. Okay, so again, you should do it robotically, like all day. You should do so many robotic turns that you're like, domo arigato misto roboto, like all day long. Do it until it feels so dumb, and then do it a little bit faster, but so it still feels dumb, and then put on music and do it still robotically, and you'll be like, oh snap, I gotta do it slow and dumb again. Because that music comes out fast, man. Okay, so a couple more times, and then I'm gonna put on a slow rumba, which will probably actually be bolero, and we'll do it with music a couple times, but come with me. I still gotta get to arms. I'm still gonna get to arms, but hold on. So nice and slow, I'm counting slow, quick, with the ands where we turn. Ready, and slow, and quick, 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 and slow, and yes. So I feel like the question is coming, but as I get music, I'm going to answer a question that nobody's asked. As you do your bolero, as you do your turns and you're doing them robotically, all is good with the world. And then at some point, you're gonna have to do it not robotically. But if it's feeling good, you can hold your slows. So right now I'm doing it very, very metronomically, where your and is like half of the slow or half of the quick. If you're getting better at it and you're like, oh, I'm still pretty balanced, you can do slow and quick and slow and quick and quick. And like make your turn toward the end of the beat, which will make it faster, looking. And then your turns look like you're doing something fantastic when all you're doing is like cheating the timing one way or the other. I don't hear anything. Hold on. Still don't hear anything. That song sucks. Hold on. Ba, 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 ba. Oh, here we go. That is so fast. Hold on 1 second. Inappropriate bolero songs are always the best. Oh, I'm getting there, I swear. Give me 2 seconds. There we go. Oh my gosh, I hate this playlist. Good enough. Okay. This is still a little bit fast. Here we go. And slow and quick and quick 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 and slow and woo! Go, 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 go. So good, right? That was bolero tempo. That sucks. Okay. So I'm gonna get to arms. Arms, arms, arms. As you do, this wouldn't be different in partnership, but it feels different in partnership. As you do your arms, if you were doing an underarm turn, like this hand is holding on to somebody usually. So when you go into that turn, your right side is closed, meaning it's like pulling in towards your left. So as I step forward, I could extend this this left arm. So there's my wind up. And then I'm gonna release it. And I still have this left side open as I'm turning to the right. So I step onto this foot and I'm still rotated away from my right side. Then I can bring it in so it's even. And depending on where you're going next, if I go back to this like first quick position, if I'm doing that 3/8 turn to get back to my partner, sometimes I would bring this in. You can't see that. So it's like across. I'll do it this way. Quad. This arm is still reaching out. You have to bring it in so you don't hit your partner. And I like to extend it there. But then as I come around from this turn, I could bring it in this way, depending on where I'm going next. The danger with bringing in your arm, I'm like flapping my arm here. You have to make sure there's still space here. So I'm gonna use this term because I do it a lot, but it's like holding a baby. You want some space in there. You don't want to swing your arm across ever and have it be like cha. There might be like 1 or 2 positions that would be okay, but it is squishy. It squishes anatomy that you don't need to. So even if you swing this in across with force, you still want some space in there. It creates volume, which for basically anybody is what you're looking to do. Whenever we're talking about like bigger steps, bigger arms, blah, 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 more. We want more of everything, right? We want more volume. We want you to take up more space on the dance floor. And if you ever do this, unless it's like a little slinky thing, it's usually not appropriate for like just everyday motion. So a little space in the arm, I'm going this way. Quick, woo, slow. So now guess what? I'm wound up to the right, so I can turn to the left. So I'm not gonna do like underarm turn arms here. I'm gonna do like solo turning arms. So I could extend this right arm, do my 1/8 of a turn, open up here, but I'm still rotated over to my right. Please don't do the flapping arms, it's not arm styling. And then as I step onto this foot, then I could wrap this back in. So I'm ready to go over to my right. The rule, because I'm a big fan of rules, is if you are turning to the right, you should be rotated or wound up to your left. This goes for like everything, always, always. So even if you're doing like a left box in waltz, Viennese waltz, foxtrot, whatever it's gonna be, if you're doing a left box, you're not rotating to the left right off the bat. That's ridiculous. You're gonna rotate a little bit to the right and keep that rotation to the right all the way through until you need to rotate to the left. And then you do the change step, and then you can rotate a little bit to the left, so you can rotate to the right. Otherwise, what happens is if you're really rotating your shoulder, your hip, and your foot at the same time, there's no way to catch the momentum of your turn. So there's a lot of physics in dancing, right? If you're doing it right. So if I literally do a gingerbread turn, 1, 2, 3, and I had too much force, like what am I gonna do? Like, I'm out of frame, I'm gone, and I pulled my partner over too. So that's why you always wanna have a little rotation one way or the other. And one of my coaches once said, sort of facetiously, 7 degrees. But 7 degrees is like pretty accurate. So if you're like, oh, have I rotated too much? Which is usually a question. Sometimes it's yes. So if you're just standing here and you're like, I gotta rotate to prep my turn. It's not like you have to rotate this much to prep your turn. It's like you just rotate a tiny bit. So you have something to catch your turn at the end. Okay, so your arms, hopefully, I'm gonna try to quick review all of this stuff. When you're doing your turns, you have to stand over your standing foot. You have to be over your standing foot and then do your turn of whatever kind it is. So you always do step, turn, step, turn, step, turn. It helps to count the body action of that turn. So if you're used to counting, if you're used to counting your timing slow, quick, quick, you can count slow and quick and quick and slow and quick and quick and slow and then you'll know where that turn should happen. Make sure that you start out slowly and do stupid stuff like the gingerbread action, and you can feel the balls of your feet turning on the floor and not like your heel. You shouldn't be catching yourself on your heel because you'll fall down. So unless you're doing a heel turn, you're not hitting your heels on the ground. And then you can do the clapping exercise to make sure you're rotating one side through, woo, as I fall over. And then you can do the same thing, but with bad ballet arms. Maybe they're fine ballet arms, whatever. But rounded arms with your thumbs about your lower rib cage level. And then trying to get your feet a little bit closer together on what would be the second step of 1, 2, 3. And practicing it nice and slowly, getting it a little bit faster, practicing it to music. And then anytime you're doing your arms, hopefully they're still maintaining that rule of rotating away from the direction that you're turning. So if I'm doing like, I'm gonna go to smooth. If I'm doing like a smooth turn, I start this way and then I rotate out. And like I still have that same action where it's basically the clapping drill. Oh, like whatever it is. And if I'm doing rhythm, no matter if I'm with a partner or without, like I can do, you know, the little walk around turns where both parties turn. They're still wound up in one direction away from where I'm going. And you can do little jazz hands or whatever with them. I'm not against jazz hands, guys. There's nothing wrong with it. That is all. Continue doing ITA as you turn. It helps you not fall down. Questions?